What's up, people? What's up, people? What's up, people? It is your boy, MM2K. Hold on, let me scoot my chair up a little bit because it's been a long time coming. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, MM2K, back again with, Stadia live session. We have been on hiatus for a little bit of time. I'm going to explain to you why, because you guys deserve an explanation why. What you don't deserve is my damn. Oh, there you go. You don't deserve my damn video to be all over the place. There we go. All right. So, shout out to everybody that is in the chat. Thank you very much for joining. Who we got up in here? We got Ray Sherrod. We got Stadia Vet Gaming. Stadia 100. Yes, indeed, sir. Yes, indeed. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Thank you guys so much for all your support. Sean L. Bet in the house. And now your mama knows I'm in the building. We SBCN. I love you guys. Me and my SBCN brothers, we had a very good conversation a few days ago. The contents of the conversation are confidential. Nonetheless, we had a very good conversation. And I really was on the phone the first time with some of these guys. And I tell you, we're going to talk about this too. These are some of the most down to earth, good spirited, good hearted guys that you're going to find in the community. They mean well. They love a product and a service, just like a lot of you listening on the other end of this love a particular product and service. And all they want to do is do the best job that they can to showcase that product and service to you and help people get access to content from said product and service. It's nothing less than FanFest, Xbox FanFest, where Phil Spencer goes out and says, hey, look, all of you fans of Xbox, we're going to talk Xbox. We're going to celebrate Xbox. Let's do that. Come on out, right? It's nothing short of that experience, except because we don't get the type of accolades and the attention that an Xbox or a PlayStation or a Nintendo gets. And that's okay. That part of it is fine because we're young and we're new. But because we don't get said accolades, the community put those type of accolades on their own back. And I'm telling you, my SBCN brothers, they're first and foremost with a lot of this stuff right now, man. I love what they're doing. But more important than me loving what they're doing, I love the nature of these guys' hearts, man. Fantastic people, great spirited, great initiative that you got going on there. And it saddens me to a degree. We'll talk about it later. We're going to do some good stuff first. But it saddens me to a degree that those good-hearted efforts are being tagged to some of the muckiest rhetoric out there. We're going to address it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the flavor of the month, which is this muck and this craziness. We dealt with this last year. We're going to address it again this year, and hopefully we'll get beyond it. But with that said, shout out to my SBCN people. I love you guys. Shout out to Kessel Runner in the house, Stadia 100. You know, agree or disagree, I love you all. I'm not going to demagogue you. I'm not going to typecast you. I'm not going to put a label on you. We'll call you out here. And you know what I'm saying? We're going to have fun with this, right? But at the end of the day, people have well intentions. They mean to do well. You know what I'm saying? Some of us sometimes some of us, hey, look, there's no other way to say it but to say it. Some of us just got to have a remote pried from our hands and have the Rachel Maddow just cut off. Sometimes we just get so embedded in Rachel Maddow. We take some of that rhetoric that applies to some of the most staunchest, craziest things that are happening in the world. We come up with 99 thread items talking about video games. Man, oh man, oh man. Sometimes, like I said, sometimes our brain can churn in a way that's just too much. We got to have somebody on the side that can pry that remote away and say, all right, enough Rachel Maddow for you today, man. Go take a nap. Go chill out. Go relax somewhere. Like the person that's synonymous of that for me is Project Storm. When I'm like, yo, Storm, yo, check it out. You know what I'm saying? This is when I'm going to get on the box. I'm going to talk about this. Storm's like, nah, buddy, come on, man. He's like, come on. He pulls the remote out of my hand. And nothing against Rachel Maddow. As y'all will know, as y'all get to know me, I'm not a political person. I watch a lot of political stuff, but I'm not a political person. I don't believe in the current political system. I think it's a smokescreen that was developed to be divisive and to separate us while they pilfer us and they benefit only. But that's a whole nother podcast. We drop stuff like that. Hey, check out Broadband Bullies, Expand Your Mind. My homie Next Gen 720 hosts that on Twitch. You know what I'm saying? So when he gets around to doing another one, we could talk about it there. But I do consume a lot of political content, whether I agree with it or not. And one of those people is Rachel Maddow, because Rachel Maddow has an oratory skill craft to her that I like. I've actually robbed her. A lot of people complain about my videos, that my videos, I ramble too long before I get to the point. And I do that. That's intentional. Why? Because the purpose of Stadia Dosage is to inform, enlighten, and spread awareness. So I treat every video like it's the first time you've seen either a video on my channel or you've seen this subject matter altogether. Come on, CC Cleaner, stop it. Get out of here. Stop with the spam. Get the hell out of my way. All right. Rachel does the same thing. Rachel will have a subject matter where you go anywhere else and they'll be like, okay, yeah, the Capitol got stormed. Not Rachel. 3 weeks ago, somebody was eating a bagel. They dropped the bagel on the floor. The cream cheese went splat. That splat sound reminds me of, you know what I'm saying? And I like that. So I've adopted that because I think it's key. I've been following Rachel. See, this is the thing. How I understand why I made the little joke that I made earlier, because I know where that rhetoric came from, right? Or that style of rhetoric came from, but it don't apply here. This is plastic and video games and boop, 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 boop. It don't apply here, money. But anywho, I've been following Rachel since she was with. Y'all never, a lot of you guys that believe in, that follow these political parties and all this other stuff, you'll never believe who introduced Rachel Maddow to the cable news scene. Who knows? Who knows who introduced Rachel Maddow to the political news scene? I'm not having an old Milwaukee, by the way. This is called Hooplark. This is sparkling green tea with hops, though. It's fake beer, but I love this stuff. I wonder if they'll sponsor the channel. Y'all probably don't know, so I'm gonna just go. I don't see no answers. I don't know how much of a delay there is. The person that introduced Rachel Maddow to cable TV was none other than Tucker Carlson. See, a lot of you aren't old enough to remember this that are big. My daughter's big. She loves Rachel Maddow too. She's big on Rachel. And I got to tell her, I joke with her sometimes and say, Rachel, you know, I call her Rachel, chill out. Well, it ain't even that serious, Rachel. That being said, y'all follow politics. Tucker Carlson is on a completely different spectrum than Rachel Maddow. But when Tucker Carlson was on MSNBC years ago, he used to follow Joe Scarborough Country. And I think Joe Scarborough is the one that brought him over to MSNBC. He had his own show called Tucker. And on that show, a shout out to Tucker Carlson back in the day. He didn't shy away from debates. He was part of Crossfire when he was on CNN. So he wouldn't shy away from debating people that had different political views. Now, whatever you think about his personal political views, again, I don't get into that. But he brought Rachel, he said, this is a sharp liberal debater when she was on NPR, and he brought her on Tucker. He brought her on his show, Tucker. And it was a segment where him and Rachel Maddow would go back and forth for about a good 15 minutes with great spirited debates. 15 minutes. So I know where the rhetoric comes from. But what we have to do, especially when we're in positions of influence, and when I say positions of influence, I don't mean influence like we control your minds. A lot of us feel like we got the ability to control your mind and make you like this and like that. It doesn't work like that. We influence your thought process of the things that we represent. Even when we say these words are mine, it don't fly like that. If you're having a one-off discussion or debate with somebody, yes, that may work. But when you go to the outer regions of discourse and you start making associations to things like we've seen over the course of the debate because this is a content creators thing. This isn't a members thing. Members are overwhelmingly joyous of this. They've talked to me personally and they're happy about this and they can't get ready. They can't wait to get ready and go with this. But when you start making these associations that are from the nether regions, there is no disclaimer. There is no disclaimer that can apply. It has a cascading effect on the things that you represent and the people that work to represent those things. Because the thought process is, hold on, this entity is here. It's synonymous with the face of your brand. And they're willing to go out that far to make some associations. Just by basic psychology, it's going to have an effect on the brand. So it's indicative of all of us, regardless of how deep embedded our passions are. We can be sharp in our discourse. We can be jagged in the things that we say, because I am. But there has to be a barrier somewhere. There has to be a barrier somewhere. Because if there isn't a barrier, and I have a position of influence, again, I explained what influence is, not mind control, but influence over how said brand, trademark, or the things that my associates have worked hard to do. You're going to have influence on that regardless if you put a disclaimer up there or not. We have to be cognizant of that. One of the wisest things that I've heard, 25 plus years, managing managers, Fortune 500 stuff, dealing with some of the biggest companies in the world, dealing with some of the biggest entities, famous people in the world as well. And having to be mentored through that process, whether it's what we do at a very high level, whether you're selling socks, it doesn't matter. Perception is 9/10 of the law. And when you are of a position of influence, and that influence runs at risk with how a said entity that you represent can be taken, you have a responsibility. I have a responsibility. I'll just put it in my shoes. I have a responsibility to make sure that what I have to say does not cascade in an ultra negative way to all the hard work that people do around me. So we just got to be cognizant of that. Because we're seeing a lot of rhetoric. We're seeing a lot of stuff fly in this community that is beyond the pale. We're going to talk about it today. But I wanted to start off this conversation right with some positive stuff. Before we get into that, though, let me just remind you all that I go into these tangents. If you're new to this, again, here goes my Rachel Maddow. There was a bagel, and then there was cream cheese on the bagel, and then the bagel went splat as I dropped it. If you're new to this platform, I go on my rants. We go do different, pull up different segments of videos and links and stuff like that. And then I try to monitor StreamYard as best as I can. Chat's always live and bumping. I'll pull comments out of the chat, but if I miss something and it's something that you want to grab my attention with, feel free to hit that super chat and let me know. You know what I'm saying? Super chat doesn't go in my pocket for me to get that bagel that's going to go splat. No, it goes directly into initiatives to either enhance our product or to do things like the Stadia 60-day challenge that we did with our homie Doc Dark. 1985, and that was a very eye-opening initiative. It goes towards stuff like that. So just wanted to put that out there. Also, if you enjoy this content and you want to get some of the specialized content, I just got to now. I want to apologize first and foremost for last week. Last week we had a plethora of things happen. Shout out to my brother Stadia Rev, because I know he's listening. He's like, no, it's plethora, damn it. We had a plethora of things happening. Number one, of course, Stadia 100, and I consumed a lot of my time because there's a lot of planning that went into that. Secondly, there were some upgrades that I told you guys about, ladies and gentlemen, about that we were going to get into. Excuse me. There's a lot of planning and stuff that we were going to get into that we're working out. Took a lot of hours. Like it was eight hours of planning for me, and I took it to our person. I said, here's what I need you to do, and they took it. And maybe what I did didn't translate well, because when they got it, they were like, they brought us something else back, and I'm like, oh no! So I had to go back to the drawing board, re-explain it, take another 8 hours. Also, if you ladies and gentlemen aren't aware of, I'm also a part of a group of podcasters called the Broadband Bullies. It's not for the faint of heart. We do a lot of adult-themed, video game-related stuff, hilarious stuff. I don't get a chance to rock with my brothers on the show like I used to because of my schedule, but a lot of the shows show up late night because it's adult-themed. It's on Twitch, too. They got something called Twitch Wars. Some of the most side-splitting, hilarious, crazy stuff that you're going to see on YouTube video game-related. Our website went down, and it went down over some crazy stuff that was to the fault of our website host. So I was working with them for 16 hours because I'm the website manager for Broadband Bullies. So that was 16 hours I had to deal with them on that. So then you take 16 hours and another 16 hours, and then just some, my PC. So I was looking to upgrade my PC. I was going to shock my brother Project Storm. I told him I was coming for his content. I was going to rip his content to shreds. And the upgrades that I tried fell flat. So because they fell flat, really stopped my computer, caused all these problems. Still, the problems are not 100% solved, but hopefully I'll get them taken care of. With that said, that was really the main thing that stopped my progress from being able to do content the way that I wanted to. But I thank you guys and gals so much for your patience. I really appreciate it. Love you guys so much. Thank you. And again, thank you for your support, because without this, there is no us. And for those and when I say us, I mean like us, like we're here to, again, spread awareness, to make sure that that the facts are presented when it comes to Stadia, spread awareness, and highlight this platform that we're so enthused about. That's what we do. Every different platform and every different content creator does something unique and different. And that's good. Diversity of thought is always a great thing. Y'all know, and another thing too, y'all know how we do. I like to drop my content in Discord because, like I always say, I ain't too proud to ask. You never know unless you ask. I always tell my fellow content creators that if there's something that you want to know, ask. I don't stop asking until you tell me no. Just persistent like that. All right. So let me see here. Let me make sure. Okay. Because I want to put this in the right spots. I don't want nobody coming after me like, hey, baby 2K, stop spamming us with your silly stuff. All right. And then that's the last place that I'm going to put that. And then we're going to put this here too, because I think they're going to want to hear this here too. All right. What's first on the docket? Let me do this without, because I can hear my CPU running. See, I'm still having issues. I can still hear my CPU running faster than what I like, but that's okay. All right, I think now we can close Discord. Thank you guys for your patience. Here I come. Here I go. Here I go. Ah, I don't want y'all to see that. Yeah, it didn't work. There we go. Okay. What's first on the docket? Well, first, let me go to the chat. We got Ray Sherrod in the house with the sneaky eyeball, Stadia Vet Gaming 100, Sean L. Bet. And now your mama knows I'm in the building. Gary Lennon, good evening, Stadians. Good evening to see you. Kessel Runner, Stadia 100, shout out to you. Says, and your mama knows says, thank you, MM. Nicholas Gaffney with the eyes, with the googly eyes. And now your mama knows said, we just want to help build the community. Absolutely. Love you back too, Ray. Thank you so much. My homie Proper is in the house. Proper's place. Shout out to you, my good brother. Good to see you as always. And congratulations, man. And congratulations on the engagement. Sean L said that was sad. Sorry, it's okay. We're gonna talk about it today and hopefully get through it and move on. We're gonna be positive. Sup, everyone? Timothy Fair Jr. We got Avery in the house. Avery said, I'm more of a pod save American person myself. I'm not too familiar with them. I think I've heard of them, but I ain't too familiar with them. He said, if it ain't Ricky Lake, I don't want it. Says Proper. Let me see what else we got down here. John Scar, Mr. John Scar himself, the hardest working man in these Stadia streets with the 4 Scars Gaming Army. I love it. Uh-oh, here goes this Joker. Where's this Joker at? Where's this Joker at? There he goes. The hater of all, my good brother Amunar. He says, everything is fake news anyway, right or left, just want us fighting among. Yeah. I totally agree with that. But yeah, I used to do political work for a mayor at a young age, and it opened my eyes. And I said, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with this political stuff. And I saw it for what it was. And that changed my life. That was a major. I remember when I stopped doing it, because I come from rough upbringings, born and raised in the projects. It was rough. For those of you that are familiar with Wu-Tang, they call their projects Killer Hill, but before they called their projects that, and I got famous, that's what they called where I came from, Killer Hill Projects. It was the Hill District, nothing but projects there. My family fought hard to try to keep me away from silly stuff as they saw me starting to slide at a young age, just because looking for stuff to do. I had family members get involved, and you know what I'm saying, and got me involved in the right stuff. And I was doing all types of extracurricular stuff that landed me in the mayor's office in this particular city. And my mother was so proud, but within a couple months I rolled. I saw some stuff that was like, what? Overheard some things. I was like, nah, this ain't for me. And the rest is history. Avery Krause says, feel free to use my name. No need to avoid it. I stand by my words, but I respect that other people don't agree. Hope you have a great show today. So let me do this because I want to be positive first. What Avery is talking about, I did want to be positive first, but there's some misconceptions going on here that we got to address. And I don't know Avery personally. I just know of what I know of him from the few interactions that I've had with him. And I will say this, because I know Avery got an interview with In Your Mama Knows, so whatever. I think Avery has an issue with Stadia 100. I'm going to be honest with you. From what Originally, when I heard his concerns, my mindset went to what? What the hell? Oh no. I'm gonna be honest with you. Can someone do a wellness check? Like what the hell? I didn't know it was for real at first. And I was saying I'm like, nah, this is too far. You know what I'm saying? I had a real explosive reaction to it because that summary was the furthest thing from what this actually is. And even though I don't know Avery that well, I said Avery is a smart individual. He may be a lot of things, but he's not dumb. So to come up with this, what the hell? But I also, okay, well, no, I'm not going to go there yet. So that's the reaction that I had to what he said. But then later, I was schooled on what may have caused that reaction. And this is from what I understand. He can speak to it. I won't speak for him. This is my show, Avery. I ain't going to invite you on yet. We can have a discussion later, but this is my show. I'm being selfish. This is my show. But you brought it up. I'm going to talk about it. From what I understand, Avery and maybe some of the Stadia Source team feel like they were getting flack because they changed their brand. And that's all I thought it was. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought that they just changed their brand to Gamers Something Network, right? Or Gaming Source Network. I said to myself, oh, cool, smart move. Especially in the light of the tweet that Eddie had put out, where Eddie had put out a tweet where he was talking about this is the style of communication that you get from Google. This is what you get from GFN. And I remember looking at that communication. I'm like, hold on, Eddie, you're comparing communications from the communications team at Google from the community manager at GFN. Of course, the community manager is going to seem more warm or whatever. They operate at different levels with different types of people. But when you read, but I'm glad Eddie did that, because even though that comparison may have not been level, and him showing that letter, it revealed why maybe a Stadia Source, which I know they bring up often, it revealed why a Stadia Source possibly don't get the reaction that they get when they go to try to get clarifications and things like that. In that letter, the person said, we normally deal with news sources that have parent companies. Like, for instance, I think Verge or Polygon is owned by Vox. Even Input Magazine, the Catherine Hazai interview, they have a parent company and so forth. And you have a variety of this everywhere. So when I saw that they changed their logo, I said, oh, maybe they were made abreast of this earlier and they realized, okay, maybe what we got to do is we got to do this. I said smart move. Those were my personal thoughts. I said smart move, but what I also did is went back into the 16 hours of programming work that I had to clarify, the 16 hours of dealing with the Broadband Bullies website, dealing with a down computer. I went back to the stuff that I had to do. I'm not part of we fully support the Stadia Source platform as far as what they present. They do a great job for the community. And if they're going to expand to more content, great for them. There's nothing wrong with that. But I got to do what I got to do. I'm not part of Stadia Source. And this is at the crux of Avery's problem, because I ran into this with him before. And hopefully he takes this in kind, absorbs it, and becomes more self-aware of this issue. Avery has a tendency of taking certain criticisms and thinking that what he does or what he represents is at the heart of it. Like, he took Stadia 100, and I had to go back and read the manifesto that he put out there, and I said, oh, that made sense. Now, I mean, the rhetoric still to me is wow, but now it made sense to me because there were certain sections about, and then the Stadia 100 thing came after GSA, and it didn't make sense to me, but then I went back and read it, and I said, oh, that makes sense. And I'm here to tell you, Avery and Stadia Source or whomever, that the creation of Stadia 100 has nothing to do with, because I didn't realize that you guys did this. Because I gotta be honest and be frank. I haven't kept up with your YouTube channel. I just haven't. I kept up with your YouTube. I'm a very busy guy. I remember, look, let's put it out there. I don't think Avery will mind this. Me and Avery had a conversation behind the scenes about something, right? That initiative that was being worked on. Avery told me he was hitting me up on the Stadia Dosage DM. And there's people that work on that because they help promote things, but they're not always the best at saying, hey, MM2K or Project Storm or Snow Bunny, we got a message from somebody here. Maybe it's for y'all. You know what I'm saying? So unfortunately, a lot of times people hit me up on the Stadia Dosage thing and it gets ignored. You know what I'm saying? Had the same thing with the homie Stadia Dad. Shout out to Stadia Dad. Great guy. And I got to tell him, look, follow me, DM me on MM2K. Avery told me, because he sent me a message on MM2K, then he sent a message that was meant for me on Stadia Dosage. Avery told me that, oh, I didn't realize you was the same person. Which is fine. I thought that MM2K and Stadia, I didn't realize that MM2K and Stadia Dosage had some type of relation to them. And that doesn't offend me. That's fine. He said, I don't watch your content. And I'm not saying that to be facetious or be like, oh, my feelings are, no, it's fine. I get it. Stadia. Avery is very busy doing whatever he's doing for formerly Stadia Source, now GSN. I get it. I'm a content creator too. I have less help. So if he's busy, I would hope that my brother would understand that I'm busy too. So I don't know. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Ever since we moved SSC from Thursdays to Wednesdays, and what we were doing is, and nobody asked us to do this, and I wasn't trying to force this down nobody's throat. But again, in the commandeering fashion that we've always tried to participate in, let's help our fellow Stadia content creators out. What I would do is I would align SSC with the Stadia Roundtable podcast. And we would make sure that we would we would go off the air right before they did, point people over there. And if we went over and unintentionally, we would go, hey, here goes the link to the Stadia. You know what I'm saying? To put them over there. But I'm busy. So ever since we had to move Stadia SSC podcast to Wednesdays, I can't keep up what's going on over there. There's a lot of times I can't even keep up with our own content on PNTS Network. Storm will call me up. Hey, yo, bro, did you see when I did this, man? You see how crisp that look? And I said, no. I'd be like, no. And Storm be like, what? He's like, man, what are you watching? I'm like, bro, I'll be so busy. So I don't know what the hell's going over there, over at Stadia Source or anywhere for a lot of times. I had no idea that there was an uproar about Stadia Source. One, because I don't follow the content regularly because of my schedule. For two, I have purged. Y'all think I'm lying or I'm joking? I am not lying. I have purged from all the silly stuff on Twitter. I listened to my spiritual advisor, Clive Linden, and I've purged from that garbage. So all I'm engaged in is people that are having reasonable, fathomable conversations about things related to Stadia. So when I saw the original GSN semi-announcement, I thought it was just they used a new brand and now they're going, they're using that to try to help promote that, hey, we got a sister site or we got a parent site and then we got sub sites. I didn't realize that what they were referring to was they collapsed all this new content on their new YouTube channel, and they feel like that people may be upset about that. I didn't know that. So at the time we're formulating Stadia 100, that ain't got nothing to do with that. So I say to my brothers over at Stadia Source and to Avery, y'all wasn't on our minds in a negative fashion when we did that. We are looking, and Duncan can confirm this. I hate to put people's names in this, but we done got to a silly rhetoric style type of thing, and it's crazy. Duncan can confirm this. And Duncan, it's okay if you release the DMs or if you bring it up. I had a talk with Duncan months ago. I said, Duncan, are you still doing the Saku? My brother said, nah, I'm busy. I can't, and I'm on the cloud thing right now. So I can't really do the Saku. I'm focused on the cloud thing. I said, oh, okay. He asked me, he said, are you going to do the Saku or are you going to pick it up? Like, I don't know. I don't, not really. I'm just thinking about some things. Because why did I ask him about that? I'm not bullcrap. I ain't got to lie about video games. This is why I get excited about this stuff, because people put this thing out here that I'm sitting here trying to resurrect the skeleton of Stalin and drink the blood of 1,000 vampires. I don't know what a lot of people be doing out there. And the reason why I don't know myself anymore is because sources like the Saku or things that we used to do in the community, like retweet each other's stuff on a routine, they don't happen anymore. And because they don't happen anymore, people call me up, hit me up on Twitter. Yo, MM2K, where can I go to find such and such content? And I try to point them to the sources I know about, but they be like, I already watched that. I already watched that for the day. It's done. And I get the feeling. We, as a community, used to heavily rotate other people's stuff. There was the Saku, there was all that stuff. This ain't about no gatekeeping. This is a need that was there at the beginning of this community that has grown. Shout out to my brother Jack Deslip, who put the stats out there, I believe, this morning. We're seeing engagement of Stadia community engagement at levels that we ain't seen since December. The community is growing. Everywhere you go, when you talk about cloud, 80% of it is Stadia. Regardless of how any content creator feels or any person in the community feels, Stadia is the talk of the town when it comes to the cloud. And it's only growing. So if the need was important then, it's important now. I ain't got nothing to do with said content creator mad about this content creator sending this manifesto. I don't care. I don't care. I got a website that was down that we trying to build up. I got a whole platform that I've been promising the people that I keep missing milestones on that got to be built up. I got people begging and pleading, MM2K, can you help? Can you do something about the fact that we don't get the Stadia news anymore like we did with the Saku, or y'all don't be sharing each other? I got all this. I don't care about y'all little proxy wars anymore. When I made that video, to hell with the proxy war, I meant it. So when y'all come back at me with the rhetoric that not only Avery put out there, but everybody's putting out there, it seems like it's the flavor of the month to diss and issue on the whole Stadia community. I'm starting to see podcasts out here now where they attribute something that's going on with 5 people. It's the same 5 people on Twitter. They want to attribute the things that happen with the same 5 people on Twitter to tens of thousands of viewers all over social media. If that ain't ridiculous, I don't know what is. You got a pocket of 5 people here and a pocket of 10 people here and a few people over here that got something to say. And now the whole Stadia community is toxic. And I keep telling y'all don't know toxic. You want to know toxic? Ask my homie Marlon Gaming, a PlayStation guy. When he was talking a little bit stuff on Xbox and how Xbox wasn't providing any games, they done went and took this mug's face, put it on top of things. And remember the video, it's a wrap, it's a wrap. They wouldn't clown this man to the point to where he had to go live and say, look, man, I get it. Can y'all leave me alone? And they didn't stop. Everybody from the bottom of that community to the top of the Xbox community kept flooding with memes, spreading them. On the flip side of that, the homie Paris Lilly. Now, y'all know that I don't agree with Paris Lilly all the time, but what's fair is fair. A lot of times, Paris Lilly gets unfairly attacked. You got a pocket of PlayStation people waiting for it in the side, trying to be uber technical with what he got to say, and they'll go meme and do all this stuff about him. Now, a lot of times, Paris causes his own grief, but then he's targeted. Back in the day, Mooch of Mooch and Crap, they de-doxed him, found out where he worked, put it on the internet, put pictures of his kids out there. Your boy, MM2K. One cat, shout out to my brother Porter Rock, my homie. But when I first hit the scene, I was a serious Xbot. My boy Porter Rock came out there, was talking his trash for the holiday season when the Xbox One X was dropping. I was talking my trash. You know what I'm saying? We both did diss videos on each other. You know what I mean? It was some great content. What people didn't realize is behind the scenes, me and Porter Rock, we cool in the fan. But one cat that was a big fan of Porter Rock found out who I was, and I'm not lying to y'all. I'm not allowed to have that happen. I deal with government stuff. I'm not allowed to put my person out there on social media without certain approval. This cat, because I was sloppy in one particular area, found out who I was, found out where I worked at, called my job, pretending to be my dentist. Said, who is this? And this is doctor. I can't even remember doctor so-and-so. I'm like, dentist. And I knew it was something was fishy because I don't even go to the dentist. My teeth is great though. My teeth are good. I had a little bit of problems, but as a child, I used to drink cartons of milk. So I'm good. You know, I really have to go to the dentist. I only had one cavity in my entire life. I just been blessed that way. And so I don't go to the dentist. I said, dentist? So I said, hold on. I said, you're calling my work phone. I said, I don't remember giving you my work phone number. Maybe I did a long time ago. Let me call you on my cell phone. So I called the person on my cell phone and I went out in the hallway and I started talking to him. And then they was like, yeah, you talking that issue and put a rock. I said, what? I said, these mugs get that serious. Now that's toxic. Somebody having a spat, somebody not liking your opinion, someone sitting there throwing some little barbs. Like me and the homie Kessel Runner. Was it Kessel Runner? Is that you, Kessel Runner? Or it might be another. No. I'm sorry, Kessel Runner. Some other cat. I ain't gonna say his name. We had Barbs on Twitter. The stuff that he was going on about, totally out of pocket. He went on a podcast, talked this silly stuff even further. Whatever you got to do to shine. If you like it, I love it. Do whatever you got to do to get attention. I don't care. I'm not going to sit there and call my brother toxic. He's silly and don't know what the hell he's talking about, but whatever. In addition, when I drop my Stadia compare of Destiny 2 of Xcloud versus Stadia on the Reddit site, the Stadia Reddit site, I want to say a good eighth of the Reddit community came out and was making excuses for X. I said, what? The Stadia community was like, well, this, that, and the other, because they were disgruntled at the time because they weren't getting a lot of information from Stadia. So anything Stadia related in that Reddit was getting shot down. They was down liking my video and everything, putting all to go. You can go see it right now. Go look for the compare of MM2K did on this channel of Stadia versus Xcloud of Destiny 2. And look at the downvotes and go look at some of the comments. Those are from the Stadia Reddit, because that's where I originally posted it at. That was about a good eighth, right? I didn't call them neg. I didn't say the Stadia community was because of them. There's some silly people out there on the Stadia Reddit that felt some type of way because they was in their fields, and he had something to say. It's okay. But on the flip side, again, a good eighth of the people went and said stuff, and I had to reserve in me not to broad brush the whole Stadia community. I get DMs all the time. I told you on the previous video, I get DMs all the time. People saying crazy stuff to me, either in DMs or on Discord. I don't paint the whole, it's the same handful of people, maybe a couple of, well, and then some of y'all might say, well, MM2K, here goes some more examples. It don't matter. There are tens of thousands of people that are part of the social media infrastructure on Stadia, for Stadia. A handful of people here, less than 1% of people acting goofy or acting weird on Twitter does not represent the Stadia community, nor does it give you carte blanche excuse to blame the whole damn Stadia community. So here's my message on that, and I'm gonna go to my chat because y'all know, because damn you, Avery, I'm gonna blame you. I blame your ass for this, Avery. But I don't know Avery to be like, oh man, this cat. Look, the rhetoric. Believe you me, it caught my attention. It made me concerned. I wanted to do a wellness check because I'm like, yo, brother, is this video games? But Avery, Stadia Source, or anybody else, this is not just about you. This is what really, it's not about you at all. There are people caught in the crosshairs of this battle. A battle that I stopped following a long time ago. That want content, specific Stadia content, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just like I may wake up and say, I want to see a badass Kung Flu flick. Where's my proper 12? I want to watch a badass Kung Flu flick. That don't mean that I feel like all other movies don't matter. No, I just want something specific. Just like an Xbox gamer gets up and says, yo, I like RDX. I want to see other podcasts that are in the vein of RDX. Yo, I'm a PlayStation guy. I like Kind of Funny. I want to see other podcasts. There's nothing wrong with that. And you can't convince people to like otherwise. They like what they like. Stop trying to lecture people to where you want them to be, because people are grown and they're not stupid. So my brother, you see on the street, he says, say my name. Say my name. I'm saying his name, and I'm calling out anybody else that may feel that my words are intentionally for you. It's not that serious. I'm too damn busy. I got too much on my plate. I got too much, I feel, of an obligation to the Stadia community. Well, I'm not focused on y'all little proxy battles anymore. I don't give a damn. I just don't give a damn. So when we created Stadia 100, Avery, it had nothing to do with Stadia Source and the intermingles of your community. I will say this on their behalf. I think it's a smart idea. I think it's a smart idea. After looking at Eddie's letter and seeing them doing that, I think it's a smart idea. Now, people have issues with the content. This is the thing that I just realized. People have issues with the mushing of the content. Well, that happens, y'all. That happens. And when I say that happens, y'all, I'm talking to Stadia Source. I wouldn't get too bent out of shape because of that, because the same thing happened to me. Sometimes, look, there's people doing different content for various reasons. Some people just want to do different content. Some people just want to grow their brand and make it something different. Some people just ain't digging Stadia anymore or like that. There's a variety of reasons. Some people have more selfish agenda-wise reasons. There's a variety of reasons. The reasons don't matter, though, to us. We're not thinking about that. It would be the same to us as if, let's just say, if half of the Stadia content creators were in Seattle, Washington, and a big ice storm hit Seattle, Washington, and blew out all the electricity in Seattle, Washington. That means that now half of the Stadia content creators cannot create content anymore. That creates a gap. How can we fill this gap? That's the way we look at it. We're not looking at it and, oh, you're doing this because of this. I don't care. I don't care anymore. I don't care. So to those of you, this message will be in two parts, and I promise I'm going to get to the chat and be positive. The first part is for those of you that think Stadia 100, who have led yourself to believe that Stadia 100 is somehow is a weaponized hashtag, a hashtag made out of lightsaber polygons used to slice down anybody else that wants to make other content. You have fooled yourself. Put your hands together, fold them, and stop feeling yourself because you're feeling yourself too much. It ain't that serious. Secondly, for my brother Avery, you have a penchant of thinking that things that happen are specific to you and your initiatives. I've gone through this with you before. They are not related to you or the stuff that you're getting into. I went through this before with my brother when we at Stadia Dosage do what we normally do, which is at certain times of the month, we would go out there and we would see new Stadia people coming abroad, and we would send out a copy and paste message that was out there to make people aware of the platform. We've been doing this since early 2020. It so happens that Avery was doing something called the welcome wagon. Avery took us putting our message out there the same time that he did the welcome wagon as us trying to hijack the welcome wagon. If Avery would have just done a little bit of research, took some of our text, he would have seen that before he started the welcome wagon, we've been doing this. We've just been doing this sporadically. So my brother hit the airwaves and said, oh, MM2K, or he didn't say my name. Somebody's using the welcome wagon to do this, and it's disgusting, it's reviling, it makes me want to puke. Oh. And Avery, I don't mean any ill will when I say this. This is just me. I'm just crazy. I've lost my mind. You think you're crazy. I'm crazier. Oh, MM2K is disgusting. Oh. We ain't got nothing to do with your damn welcome will. This is something, a welcome wagon, whatever the hell you call it. This was something that we were doing, that we've been doing, that we just picked up the pace on because we noticed a spike and Stadia content creators. Now, maybe by accident, me, because there's a group of us, people that you don't even know, that help do stuff for Stadia Dosage. Y'all, you will never see them. They're not content creators. But there's people that do this, and then I do it sometimes. And sometimes if I see a new person put a tweet out there, if I come across it, and I haven't searched the hashtag for Stadia, like if I see a new person out there, it might have been because of a retweet from somebody. Somebody might have retweeted it. I saw it, and I may have posted our introductory theme to it. And maybe one of those tweets was a welcome wagon tweet or something like, I don't know. But again, Avery likes to jump the gun, make assumptions, and then go all out on this tirade and create friction. So you can stand on whatever you stand on, Avery. That's fine. I'm not the all-seeing eye of what you could put out there. But understand that what you put out there has a reflection of the people around you. Is that fair to them? Just a little bit of self-awareness. All right, let me get to this chat. Damn, that was a rant. Tell them how you really feel, MM2K. Shout out to Lukey6 in the chat. He says, hey, MM2K, help you well. Lukey, another great content creator. Thank you so much, man. And congratulations to y'all in y'all campaign. Hunger is not a game. Beautiful stuff, man. Beautiful stuff. Stadia Dad Games in the house, my brother. Now, I like to see Stadia Dad Games represents a lot of the feedback that we got for Stadia 100. A lot of it was positive. A lot of people embraced it and said, this is great. This brings us back to the times to where we had representation of content, not just for the old guard, not for you old guard people like MM2K or whoever, but for the new content creators. Nobody really knows what the new content creators are doing. Y'all used to bring us on your shows and all this other stuff, and now it's like y'all like us lock set now. You know what I'm saying? When you talk about gatekeeping, there's not a gatekeeping for which platform people should like. People like what they like, and we're just providing a need and access to that information. But it seems like to a lot of people, there's gatekeeping on if you're not friends of so-and-so, if you're not part of this original old guard, that you don't deserve no burn. You don't deserve no shine. That's how a lot of new content creators feel. So that's why I love SBCN. That's shedding light on them. And that's why Stadia 100 is here to help shed light on them too, along with the old guard, along with us old fogies that have been doing this for since the launch. That's all it is. It's in the same vein of the Suku. If y'all was down with the Suku, which was the Stadia unofficial community update, shout out to Duncan for doing the hard work and putting that together. If y'all was down with that, that's all this is. Don't let your brains churn too much and make y'all think otherwise. Shout out to Ray Sherrod with the Stadia 100s. He said, Endeavor says, Stadia Dosage, you stole my Stadia 100 for game completions, but now use it well. Oh, my bad, bro. Hey, look, you got to blame the committee on that one. Yeah, you got to blame the committee on that one. Shout out. Woo! Back in the house, yes. Hey, Clive. Hello. Oh, I wonder what y'all saying at the bottom here. Shout out to my brother, Doc Dog. He says, wait, I'm new to Stadia. I can't talk about Stadia. Bruh. Hey, bruh. Where the hood at? Hey, yo, Doc, I'm trying to understand this myself, bucko. People want Stadia content. That is not to shame people that want to branch off and do other content. I can sympathize with that. I branched off and did other content. I represent a network that not only represents Stadia, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo. I get it. Before there was a GSN, we were GSN. Maybe not as successful at it, but we were GSN. What is this association to the demoralization of the ubiquitous community? I don't get it. Right? But that's where you do your due diligence and research before you open your mouth or you press send. Because now all this crazy stuff it wasn't just Avery. I'm going to say for him, like I've had to say for my brother, Duncan. I know Duncan's at home like, God damn it, MM2K. I've been off for Twitter, man. Stop bringing my name up. Shout out to Duncan. Shout out to Duncan and Cloudy with a chance of games. They got the Stadia GP. Check that out, man. Check that out. Good stuff. But I'm going to say for Avery, like I said for my brother Duncan, this all don't fall on the shoulders of Avery. You had a lot of people do some crazy stuff over the last week or so. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. Jack Deslip, shout out to Jack. Jack just put out numbers that show that the community is growing. We already talked about that. Secondly, again, men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. These people that are so toxic that are out here being weird and goofy, they represent less than 1% of the Stadia community on social media. Why are we demagoguing the entire Stadia community? But yes, Doc, I'm not allowed to say, hey, look, if you want Stadia community, here you go. I'm gatekeeping. What a hood at. Ray Sherrod said, God damn it, MM2K, preach, brother. I'm jumping up and down in my house. I love you, brother, preach. Now, shout out to Avery. He was my inspiration. I had a whole nother set of notes today. And he came in there and shout out to him, though. Don't go after Avery. Let him be. Let him be great. Let him rock. Let him do what he do. But if we're being open and honest, let's be open and honest. My brother Avery has a penchant of taking things personally when he shouldn't. Avery, just like you told me, and this ain't tit for tat, just like you told me, hey, I didn't know that you was Stadia Dosage. I don't check out your content. I'm telling you, I ain't know about the riffraff that y'all had going on over there. I was too damn busy. And I'm not the best at following y'all's. We're two busy men trying to do things for the things that we represent and hopefully for the betterment of the community. So I can sympathize with you, brother. You're not the only one. When I use the Rachel Maddow thing again, it ain't that serious. Do yourself a favor. Clap your hands, then put your fingers together. Ball them up and set them on the desk. Why? Because you need to stop feeling yourself. You're feeling yourself too much. This ain't all about you, bro. There's a cluster that got the Rachel Maddow on auto repeat, and they using rhetoric that's for starving third world countries. This is video games, damn it. It ain't that serious. What the hell's going on? What is in the water? Is it old Milwaukee? But shout out to Avery. Spectre says, Cloud Gaming 201 saying we will keep doing our thing and support the platform. So I'm just getting tired of the toxicity. Chariot Man Gaming says, speak the truth, MM2K. You've been doing this for a while. Stadia campuses laugh out loud, screaming from the rooftops. Christopher Torres is correct. Stadia communities are not just us 14 countries all over. Doc Dar says, bro, I'll hop on Discord right now so you can explain this to me. Now, let me do this. I'm going to say this real quick. I got to go pick up my wife. This was completely different. Damn, I got to change the title. It's all good. It's all gravy. Doc, I'm like you, but I made myself abreast of this later. There's been a fight in the Stadia community. Content creators have either they've made less Stadia content, or they have broadened their channels to include other things. You know what I'm saying? Or they've abandoned the platform altogether. All of that is 100% fine. It's not a problem of said content creator, whatever their motives are. Who cares? Doesn't matter. The only thing that matters to me and the group of people, Doc Dark, that created this initiative called Stadia 100 was that there's now a void of how people get connected to Stadia content. Like, for instance, we used to have this thing, Doc, called the SUCU, the Stadia Unofficial Community Update, where it would introduce you to all the Stadia content creators, tell you what we were talking about, tell you about all the Stadia news that came out, and gave you content. So when I wanted to know what was going on through the community, if I wasn't so busy on Twitter, or if I missed a tweet or something like that, it'll help me get a line. Let me tell you how important initiatives like that was. It was because of the SUCU that I learned who the hell my spiritual advisor, Clive Linden, is. I know who the hell I said, because everybody else got fancy names. Stadia Rocks, Stadia Talk, Eddie's Stadia Player One that I came through with Stadia Dosage, Club Stadia. Everybody had these Megatron X. We all had these, you know, these Transformer. I guess that was supposed to be a Transformer sign. A Transformer sign. We all had all these Transformer names. And then here goes this name at the bottom, Clive Linden. I said, who the hell is this? Who the hell is this guy? Turned him on, was hooked ever since. Now, eventually, I would have been hooked up with Clive. I would have eventually. But it goes back to my homie Squid. Thanks to that, I was not detached to, I probably did miss some moments, but I didn't miss more moments than I needed to of great content from Clive. And I brought up the homie Squid because Squid is a Stadia community member. He does a different content, though, for a different variety of things, which is fantastic. But Squid was given bad information about Stadia, and he missed out on a lot of the great stuff that was going on with Stadia. He caught on with Division 2, thankfully, but all that stuff that happened before he missed out on. And Stadia Dosage is a platform to where we try to help eradicate those situations as much as possible. So the SUCU helped me, and I never told Clive this story. The SUCU helped me find out who the hell Clive was. I was like, Clive, I said, we got Stadia Rocks and Megatron X. We got all, hey, look, yo, we got all these 80 rap names, right? We got all these crazy. And then this guy comes in there, Clive Linden. I said, who the hell is this guy? Turned on, was hooked. Was hooked. We got Sunny Cloud Gaming, you know what I'm saying? Was hooked, though. That's all we're replicating. Now, I know a lot of you have questions about Stadia 100. That's fine. And y'all have concerns. That's fine. When I'm doing this, I'm speaking to the people that are staunch. No, this is a gatekeeper's fest, and it's going to do this and to do that. It kind of reminds me of, and let me say this before I roll, because I gotta go pick up my wife soon. Now going through this exercise, and let me first and foremost say this, because I really got taken off. None of my notes have been represented in this talk. But I I how do I say this? Okay, so excuse me. When we first got together to put together um Stadia 100, again, it was based off of conversations that each of us had as individuals, and we just happened to bring them up with each other, right? And then we saw an opportunity, and really what sparked us off. He didn't know this at the time, but again, you can go to my brother Duncan. He'll tell you. Months ago, I asked him, I said, "Anybody doing the saku?" And then we formulated it based off of that at first, and then said, "Well, maybe we can't replicate the saku right now, but what's something else that we can do that's quick and swift?" And we came up with Stadia 100. Now, everything that I've said today does not represent the thought process of my brothers. This is me talking. This is me. A lot of my brothers have said, MM2K, chill out, man. It's like it ain't this serious. Like, chill out, bro. They probably sitting there saying right now, oh my, they probably got their hands in their head. Oh my God, this dude went there. But no, shout out to Avery. I'm glad he pointed that out. I'm glad he said what he had to say, because I think it was vital for me to tell my brother that my criticisms and my concerns ain't about you solely. Yes, what you said was part of it, was intermingled into it. But you ain't the other one out here with the crazy rhetoric. We got letters. We got a whole bunch of crazy stuff going on out here. And as much as you guys do good for the Stadia community, there ain't nothing wrong with y'all branching off and doing other stuff. It's just like when I experienced it, and I really got to go. I'm going to go through the chat, though. I'm going to do that because y'all stuck through me and dealt with my rant. But the thing is, though, is when I did it, let me give y'all an example. When I did it on my MM2K channel, people simply rejected it. It was like, MM2K, I didn't come to you for you talking about cloud gaming. I don't care about that. You talk about Xbox and PlayStation. I'm a console war knight. That's what I want to hear about. And I was saying to myself, but I want to enlighten you. I don't care. I don't need to be enlightened. I didn't come to you to have my head shrunk. I came to you for a specific reason. Are you going to provide the reason? No. All right, then, well, then we out. You know what I'm saying? And they roll. And then I said, okay, well, I'm not engaged in PlayStation or Xbox all like that anymore. I'm engaged in this thing that you see on your screen. So now I got to go to a new audience and I got to start from scratch. So my advice to my fellow brothers and sisters out there is that if you're feeling a rejection to you widening the scope, don't get sour about it. You got to understand, we're a commodity. That's what it is. We're a commodity. Sometimes we feel ourselves too much, and because we talk, we feel like our influence is stronger than what it is. And then when people don't jump, when we say jump, we get upset, we get angry. People like what they like. Would it be more enlightening for them to like more? Yeah, but they like what they like. And they don't want you on the other end of the mic trying to make them feel stupid for not going down the path that you want them to go down. So one thing that you have to recognize and realize is that initially off the bat, your new initiative might get rejected. That's fine. I went through it. But what I had to do is I had to say, look, I can't do this off the backs of the Xbox and PlayStation community that I built. I got to go to the people that are interested in this stuff. And that's why I went over to the Stadia community. And it was rough at first. I'm used to getting 200, 300 watches on my videos, even back then, to now going back to 7, 10 views. My homies laughing at me. MM2K said, you started this too early. But I just kept trucking along. And then finally, the content started to grow. I got something that captured people's attention with my Tom Warren response. And then it grew from there. And I just kept working from there until we are where we at now. And now we're trying to turn this platform over to other people. More to come on that. But it's better to get bees with honey. Old saying my grandmother used to tell me, and it makes a lot of sense. I use it in life. If you try to sympathize with the Stadia community and say, I get where your concerns are. However, we really feel like it's important for us to branch off and do this and do it in a respectful way without all the finger wagging. There might be a little bit of murmur at first, but then after the emotions settle, they might grow to it. They might not. If they don't grow to it, then you just got to work hard and go to the sources of people that do like that content and bring them over. You got to go to them. I couldn't do it off the backs of the Xbox and PlayStation people. So if you built up an audience purely of Stadia people, you can't do it off the backs of them. That's it. That's all. It's nothing to go crazy over. It's just, it is what it is. And these are some very smart, very talented content creators. If you keep working hard, you'll find success. That's it. But let's stop the demagoguery. Let's stop it. People want what they want. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I may want a Kung Fu flick, and if on my Hi Y'all channel, I start seeing dramas, I might be like, I don't want to filter through these dramas. I want nothing but pure Kung Fu flicks. That's an inconvenience to me to have to do that. So I'm dropping the Hi Y'all channel. Not that dramas don't matter. I watch dramas with my wife all the time. But at this moment, I want what I want. That's just the psychology that you're dealing with, and you can't change it. Okay? But don't broad brush the whole Stadia community. It's not fair. It's not fair to people like Stadia Dad, Stadia Vet Gaming, and all the other just normal Joe Schmoes and Jane Schmoes out there in the community that just are looking for content. The tens of thousands of them. They're not giving you no grief. It's less than 1% of the community, and y'all don't know grief. Go look up Marlon Gaming. Go talk to Paris Lily. Go talk to my brother Optimus Code. Go look for Mooch. Talk to them about grief. You don't know grief. So stop it. Okay? That's my message to y'all. I love y'all. Let me get into this chat because my wife is going to kill me. Christopher Torres, Lord Kinsel and Stadia, laugh out loud. Oh my, I'll be there to see this episode. Yes, you have to be there. 0 games for me. I'm getting the game for sure. That and for clothes looks sick. Grime looks so good. Yes, it does. I will see the rest of this. Got a video to work on. Peace. Shout out to you, Chariot Man. And yes, SBCN is winning, man. Love them good brothers. Spectre says at Cherry Man Gaming, yes, sir. Our mission stays the same. We shine light on small creators and the platform. Our community is about unity, which we join the Stadia 100 movement. Uh-oh, my brother, Lord Kinso! He says, who the hell is this Cloud Linden? Sounds a bit... Look, I too approve. I got to go shortly. I'm going to read a couple more comments. I got to go. But I too agree wholeheartedly with Jack said. Nothing against any Stadia content creators except, and I include myself in this definitely. My brother Clive, my God, between him and Lord Kitzel, they on top. They on top. They on top. You gotta listen to them. And I'm not saying that to down anybody else. This is me included. If I had a choice to grow my channel, if I had a choice, if somebody said, look, there's 10,000 people right now that you can only point them to your channel, MM2K, or Clive's channel, I'd point them to Clive's channel. Clive is on a whole nother level. He's on a whole, I wholeheartedly agree with my brother Jack Deslip. He put it out there, it's the truth. Clive is on a whole nother level. If you are not subscribed to both of his channels, Lord Kitzel and Clive, then you are doing yourself a disservice. If you are the least bit interested in Stadia, you're doing yourself a disservice. You need to do it right now. Clive, please put the links to both of your channels in here, damn it. Please. Please. Oh. Let me see. Hold on. I got to make Lord Kitzel a mod. Yes, there he goes. Yes. Oh my, you got to. Here goes my brother Aminor. He says, don't worry, guys. You want to have fight much longer once Stadia shut down. Shout out to my brother Aminor. Oh man. Endeavor. How to not get toxic. Step 1, close all tabs. Step 2, open Stadia. Step 3. Yes! Endeavor with the hip hop quotable. If y'all don't know what that means, there used to be a magazine called The Source, and they would highlight the best rap lyric of the month. And that's the hip hop quotable of the show. Endeavor, shout out to you. I wish I had a gift to give you. How to not get toxic content. Step 1, close all tabs. Step 2, open Stadia. Step 3, play the damn games. Clavelinus and few that escalated quickly. There's only toxicity if you go looking for toxicity. Play your games and enjoy them. Yes, Stadia Dash. Shout out to you. I love you, good brother. Yeah, shout out to And Your Mama Knows. My wife is just gonna be mad at me. I don't give a damn. It's worth it today. Let me tell y'all something. The reception for Stadia 100 was so positive over the weekend that y'all created a fight between me and my wife. Me and my wife was at this place called Mad Max this weekend. Me and her ain't been out for a while because we're looking for a house. And that's another thing I've been doing too. I got a personal life too. I'm looking for a house. We trying to move out, y'all. Wish us luck there. We can use all the blessings and goodwill and everything there, because this has been an off and on 3-year escapade. So me and my wife haven't spent a lot of time together. I've been doing this stuff. And I've been a neglectful husband over the last few weeks, and it boiled its head Saturday because y'all were hitting me up. Y'all were like, yeah, MM2K. You know, oh man. Well, tell me more about Stadia 100. Some of it hurt me though. Not because y'all were mean, but some of it hurt me. I'm going to tell y'all this. I'm glad because this was in my notes. Some of this hurt me personally because a lot of y'all came to me and said, MM2K, I support this, but I can't say nothing out loud. And I'm like, why? And I'm like, because I see how they're attacking you. I see how they're attacking everything else. And I don't, I get you know what I'm saying? You're built for this, but I'm not. I just want to create content. Man, that hurt me. That hurt. It hurt because we're the ones being called the bullies. But then people are out here putting manifestos in multiple places. They just, like I said, clasp your hands and put them together. Stop feeling yourself. People are putting up manifestos and doing all this crazy stuff. And all people want to do is know where they can get their content from, like how they used to. If you supported the suckle, you know what I'm saying? If you supported when content creators used to retweet themselves, their stuff for other content creators, I don't get what the staunch issue is over this. I get some of the content creators have questions. There were great questions. I like to point out Happy Cloud Gamer. He had a great concern. Sammy Cloud Gaming had a great concern. Stuff like that. But the people that are acting like that are staunch and act like it's a time to bear arms and go to war. No, because look what y'all doing, y'all. I'm telling y'all, it hurt me There's people out there, they want to support this, but they feel like they can't do it out loud. And a couple people showed me, they said, one person in particular showed me, they said, man, I'm going to support you, but I got to do it in secret. Hey, look, man, here's how I do it. I'm like, damn, have we sunk in that low? We've sunk in that low. Where we're having projection. They're calling people that just want content bullies, and look what y'all doing. Y'all bullying people just from spreading their joy. I find that disgusting. I do. I find it disgusting. It makes me so mad. It makes me mad. All this rhetoric for what? What does it serve? And it serves nothing. It's all for self-absorbed agendas. It's sickening. I'm looking at this, I'm like, wow. So I'm typing a brother back, and I'm typing other people back. And my wife was like, you know what? She grabs her purse and she goes out and she says, you call me when you're done with the damn phone. And I got mad because I was engulfed in anger from what I was reading at the time, because that good brother had sent that to me. And me and my wife was going off in the restaurant. My wife got a lot of spice to her. But I thought, look at what y'all doing, man. Pay attention before y'all hit send. Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Wow. The emotion is flaring back up in me. I'm gonna tell y'all this. I'm gonna put it to y'all like this. Let me just put it like this. I reached out to somebody, and I'm gonna have a talk with them, hopefully, if they accept my talk. Because hopefully we can help squelch a lot of this stuff. We can squelch a lot of this misunderstanding. And we can get back to a level of sanity that'll benefit the community, regardless if you just focus on Stadia or you focus on the plethora of stuff. Maybe we can get back to a same place. But I'm gonna tell you this, I'm gonna be on, and I'm speaking only for myself. I'm separating until we have this talks or whatever. Me personally, I'm not speaking for none of my other brothers. I'm separating myself from those that caused the situations that I saw on Saturday. I was so angry. I was so angry. It was disgusting. It's disgusting. Domenico 791 said, what happened? I'm going through the plethora. I know my brother Rev was listening. It's plethora, damn it. I'm going through the plethora of good notes that people are sending back. Oh, Stadia 100, we love this. Yeah, man, we ain't had this, this type of outlet for a while. I want it because I want to know where I can go to. I want it because it helps highlight my content, whatever. And then I started coming across people that say, oh man, I support y'all. You could just feel that they hunched up when they typing this. I want to support y'all, but I can't out in public, because I see how they're attacking you, and I'm just not built for that. But I love this, and I want to support. I just can't. But here's what I did. One brother said, here's what I did, though. And I'm like, damn, it's like that. You're being bullied that much to where you can't show excitement for something that you enjoy. Damn. I'm going to say this. The problem isn't the community. The problem is some of these content creators. Not all. I'm not even going to say most. It's some of the content creators. Some of y'all are in it for yourselves, or in it for your own agenda, or in it for your own heightening. And you will say and do anything for that agenda. Think about that. But for the rest of y'all, thank y'all so much for y'all support. We're going to keep trucking along. We're going to keep tagging Stadia 100. We're hopeful that the community will start tagging their own content, Stadia 100, but we'll do it because we want people to have access to content. And somebody asked me, why Stadia 100? Why not just Stadia? Because when people tag Stadia or even Team Stadia, you can use Stadia 100 and Team Stadia and Stadia together. Stadia 100 is not to replace anything. It's just a cataloging method. It's to help point people to content. Sometimes when people see Stadia, they see a lot of the crazy stuff that I just talked about. And they're like, I'm just looking for content. I just want to know a video, audio, whatever. Let me, well, how can I get access to that? There's no more sucku. We don't retweet stuff like we used to. So if they use Stadia 100, they can get to just the pure content. And if they want to engage in a conversation altogether, they can hit Stadia or Team Stadia. Because a lot of times people use Team Stadia or Stadia and it doesn't represent content. It represents conversations or thoughts or personal this and that. And that's okay. That's fine. You can use Stadia 100 in conjunction with Team Stadia. But, boy, I don't know about some of y'all, man. That's all I got to say. I love all of y'all. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. Mad love to you, man. I don't know about some of y'all. I'm out. Peace.